Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands in a Radio, and today we are looking at a Tecsun DR-910. I've got my cheat sheet of notes here with me. This one was $17 on eBay, and don't see a lot of these around, and I just thought I'd pick it up. You see a lot of the 909s, 9012, 911, things like that, but you don't see this 910 very often, so I thought we'd give it a spin and see what happens. The interesting thing about this is all the controls are in Chinese, and but yet they put digital LCD frequency and clock display and digital world receiver in English. I thought that was kind of humorous, and I think I have a weird sense of humor. But I made a little cheat sheet that we can look at. I found the DR-910A is all English, so all the controls are in English and everything. And I just transcribed that down so we can see what all the buttons are and everything. At first, you look at it and think, uh-oh, we're in trouble. No, not really. I think it's going to be pretty easy to operate. So let's dive into this box and just see what we got. We have got earbuds, and looks like we've got a clip-on antenna, just a long strand of wire that can come in really handy. And down in here, oh, I love it. I tell you, Tecsun just wins me over every time. We've got all Chinese instructions, which probably won't need those. Won't come in handy for me anyway. And here it is. Oh, I just love it when Tecsun gives me a little pouch, a carrying pouch. That just, I like that. Anyway, I am simple to please, that's for sure. And it looks like we've got our radio here. Let's get him out of the plastic, is what I'm trying to say. And there it is, while I get all the boxes and things put together so they don't blow around. Here it is. Oh, I just start with this wonderful hand strap that you don't like. And the DR-910. Oh, this is nifty. Well, let's just start around the front of it here, and I'll show you what I mean by we're not in any kind of trouble, really. Got a, 1.5 inch speaker or so, not much. It's bigger than the size of a deck of cards. 3x5 cards, exactly what it's going to be, I bet. It's just under 5 inches and just a 1/16 under. Oh, you could give it 3 inches, I guess. So it's about a 4 3/4 by 5 inch or so, a 3x5 card size. Would fit in your pocket. We've got a digital frequency counter here, very handy, and I like that. But now all these controls right here in the center that are going to scare us to death really only deal with the clock. Now I'll pull out my handy dandy cheat sheet here, and we will see that the hour and minute is here, these two. Display light button is here. Sleep button for the timer, or, well, the alarm. I think you can probably hit sleep or something, or I suppose sleep would be you could play the radio and set it for a certain time that it shuts off, so you could go to sleep by the radio. And then over here, these buttons, time set, so you're going to hit that, plus your two buttons up here to set the clock, an alarm set, an alarm off, and that's it. So if you can't read Chinese and didn't have this video to watch and didn't have the little 3x5 card cheat sheet, you still are going to be okay with this one, because we've just reviewed enough of these and we know how they operate. Down here at the bottom we've got FM. All the way over here is FM, medium wave, and I hope you can see that. It's got a little piece of red plastic there that shows us where we're at. And then it shows up over here when we're on band 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Band 8 for shortwave. So it's FM, AM broadcast, and shortwave. Easy peasy so far. And we look over here, and here, this is another, it's to me, it's just humorous that we've got all Chinese writing, some English here and there, and then we come over here and power on and off is in English and tuning's in English. So probably your most important controls, at least to me, is an on-off button and a tuning knob, tuning dial. I guess I should call it a dial. It's not a knob, but the tuning wheel, tuning dial. The two most important things are in English. So if you only read Chinese, you're wondering what in the world these buttons do. So it's kind of, and it's the same way on this side. We've got volume, and earphone, and a DC adapter, which isn't included. So your radio functions are in English, and your clock functions are in Chinese. So I guess it's all even that way. Diversity. And anyway, it's humorous. Anyway, I shall go on. The back side, we've got our handy kickstand that we like, and it also shows us the frequency range, our typical AM, FM stuff, and then it does list out, it shows us Chinese band 1 with a number 1 then in English, so we know what we're dealing with. Tells us the meter, also 49 meter, 22 meter, 41 meter, 19 meter, 31, 16, 25, and 13 meter. Covers all the way from 5.95 to 2185. What I'm going to do one of these days, when I get all the data put together, is we're going to look at each one of these individual bands, like 5.95 to 6.20, and compare it to all the Tecsun radios, because there's a ton of them out there, and they all have just a little different frequency range here and there. And I think it'd be neat to do a show on comparing those, and maybe even come up with a definitive, this is the one you ought to pick up. You know, it's got the most frequency, the most features, most frequency coverage, that type of thing. Anyway, to carry on, we got the battery door here. We've already looked at all that, the top part. We've got a fully swivelable, rotatable, that's the word I'm after, rotatable antenna. Better not make up a word, swivelable. better leave that alone. The grammar police will get me for making up words. Rotatable antenna, 19.5 inch antenna to be exact. So I am ready to drop some batteries in, and let's just see what happens. I have a good feeling about this. I have a good feeling about Tecsun radios, really. I don't think we've been let down yet too much. Of course, you know, there again, $17.99. What do you really expect? You know, 2 tickets at the movies, and you could have this. So, with that, let's try some of our, just out of curiosity, like I said, maybe you have to turn it on to set the clock. No? Okay. Let's look at this one more time. Time set is this button. Okay. So the hours and minutes should work. Well, that's the alarm. The alarm off. Doesn't do anything. Well, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, your sleep timer then turns the radio on also. Okay, so interesting. Let's just get the antenna up and spin around some more. I'm really kind of interested to see where we're headed. Okay, now this also does half steps, if you can see that. 96.05, 96, 97, 97.5. Okay, that's going to be handy in the shortwave world. Okay, that's got a really good sound for such a small speaker. Let's go over to AM quickly. Wow, that's picking up a lot of stuff. Let's hit our local station here.
Hey, I have a possible solution to this whole thing with NFL. I saw LeBron James.
Yeah, we don't care about the NFL today. Huh. Well, isn't that neat? It's got a really good sound to it. And the knob is, the tuning knobs are really solid. I know we've had one in the past, not a Tecsun, but different brands where it's just all wibbly wobbly. Excuse me. And it just didn't appear that it was going to last very long. Well, let's go on and take a look at some of these. I know we're not going to get much at 12:30 in the afternoon or so. We're not going to get much in the way of shortwave, really low frequencies. But I was just kind of curious as to how it handles. Okay, so it's exactly like the analog dial, that if you go through and start at the bottom of band 1 and you wheel up to the top, when you flip the switch to the next band, you're at the top and you've got to come back down. And I know that can be confusing at times, but if you know what to expect, it makes it easier. Let's turn it up just a little bit and see. Just like that, we're getting into some amateur radio conversation there. Probably not designed to go single sideband. Okay, let's go to 3. So 3 starts, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it does pick up WWV. Set him down and help sometimes to let go. That's cool. Okay, we're going to skip over that because we've all heard that before. 12, and just now we should be getting some stuff. But you see how it goes? 12.185, 1280, 175 flashed by quickly. But it does that half step, which I think can be really important at times. There you go. Not getting a whole lot. I want to go up and just see if it does 15 also. It does. Looks like it will. You can barely make out WWV on 15 megahertz. But it's there. So let's go on up to, there you go. There's Radio Havana, Cuba. Super, super strong station. 15140, you're guaranteed to get that. Okay, we'll continue around here. There again, we're not out to identify stations. I'm just kind of seeing what it can pick up. probably not much up here. I did get it home. I got Radio Africa around 525, I think, 520. Something like that. And I looked it up and it was Radio Africa. I thought that was kind of cool. Probably not on now. And that's the thing with shortwave propagation. It changes in a half hour, 15 minutes, a half hour or so as the Earth rotates. All that propagation changes. And so a signal, you could say, ooh, I heard that really good, like 15140. We could say, ooh, that really boomed in, and we could hear it. Give it 15 or 20 minutes, and you can hear it slowly start to fade out as the Earth rotates. It's really interesting stuff when you start to study it. So what I want to do now, since Tecsun was so nice to give us an extended wire for this radio, is I want to just pause the video for a second. I know I did this with one other radio and like 6 hours later. I promise it won't be 6 hours later. But I want to string that wire up and hook it up a little bit. And let's just go back through if everybody's game for it. And let's just see what happens again. And so you just hang on. This would be a great place to hurry and go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, Mountain Dew, whatever you do. Grab a candy bar or something, and I'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds, which is probably going to be faster than that because I'll just splice all this part out and glue it together and all that magic of technology. And we'll be right back. Hi everybody, we're back. Hope you enjoyed the little break. And what I did is took this wire that you can see there, and it clips on to the telescopic antenna, and so that means we don't need the antenna stuck up in the air anymore. And I didn't measure the wire, but I'm guessing by the length of the truck it's going to be about 17 foot of wire. So we'll just see what happens. Let's go on up. Oh, this will be a good place to start. And I'm just curious if we get anything, if it helps.
9870.
9840.
Call 800-602-9870 or visit trysoclean.com.
I don't think we had that before.
We'll bring you the rest of these messages.
Okay. Oh, I want to see 9395 if that's covered. No? They don't, these don't get out of the international shortwave bands very much. 9395 is a favorite station of mine, and it's out of that international band. And some of these just don't get there. And there's our WWV coming in pretty clear now. I think it was pretty clear before. From the last 15 seconds.
18 hours, 58 minutes, coordinated universal time.
And we move on. Yikes, some of those are really powerful now. The station's out of Florida, WRMI. Man, they're powerful. There's another one. Going up. Don't think we got that before. That's Radio Havana, Cuba. I think a different, probably the Spanish broadcast. So you can see we're getting a bunch. What I want to do is go back down to 140. Here's Radio Havana, Cuba. Might be the English broadcast. No.
Comienza su programación en idioma inglés por onda corta frecuencia modulada
Maybe.
e internet.
Of course, we don't know what time it is either. Surely I do. Yeah. Oh, this will be the English broadcast coming up. 3 o'clock.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Radio Havana, Cuba's English language broadcast for this Sunday, the first day of October. I'm Ed Newman, your host, and I invite you to stick and stay. Don't go away. We'll have our
Cool.
weekly programs, including weekly review. Look at the major news stories over the past week.
Excellent. And they look at what I like about Radio Havana, Cuba, the English portion, is they look back at, they look at world news. And they just look at it differently than the United States media looks at things. And it's really interesting to hear how the rest of the world looks at us. And it's really eye-opening, actually.
Providing time of day,
Now, we couldn't get that before.
and other related information.
15 megahertz, WWV.
Directed to the National Institute of Standards and
We couldn't get
Technology.
that before until we hooked that wire up, so it shows that wire does help.
East County Road 58, Fort Collins, Colorado, 80524.
Should be the last 15 seconds, I'd say, and we'll hear that. Should be exactly 3 o'clock, I think. Maybe. Maybe.
At the tone, 19 hours, 1 minute,
3:01 then.
coordinated universal time.
Cool. That's just cool. Let's go on up. So we can see that wow. That wire helps these little radios, and that's our lesson for the day, is these little bits of wire for shortwave. If you can clip on, it's just a simple alligator clip. This just clips on. If you can just take bare wire and wrap around your antenna, stretch that wire out, things start to get a lot better. And that's what I like about the Tecsun DR-910 and some others, that they have an actual 3.5 millimeter jack that you can plug in. So I can get adapters and plug the big antenna into the side of it, and things start to get kind of interesting then. So we're just about done. Boy, it's got a good sound to it for such a small, tiny speaker. One last one here. We'll call it a day. Okay. I doubt we'll find anything way up here. No. Okay. So that's that. I just wonder, one more time, I don't know why the time doesn't work. I mean, it says it's 12:16, and obviously it's not. Maybe there is a combination of stuff that you have to do to actually set it. I don't know. I'm not worried about a clock or an alarm. These functions right here just are nothing to me. If you were to travel, that might be a thing, and I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should be concerned with that or not. I don't know if we can see the display light. Not out. I don't think. Well, I don't know. I can't see the display light. The sleep button works, it looks. So that part's cool. I don't know about the to set the clock. I don't know. Like I said, I don't care about that all that much. These wrist straps bother me more than setting a clock on one of these. So, wow, I've really gone long on this one, I think. But it's got a lot of neat little features. It works like it should outside of the clock function. And there again, I can't, if I could find, I looked for instructions. I mean, I just knew going into it with the box and everything, I knew the instruction manual would be in Chinese. And I've looked for an English manual and can't find anything. What I need to do is look for the English manual, the DR-910A, and that would tell me, but I don't think I even came across an A. I think the only manual I came across was the 920, which that'll be another day for us. So, with that, we come to our favorite part of the show. Probably everybody says, yeah, the end. Where I rate these little radios between 1 and 10, 1 being 0 being absolutely the worst. We've already seen that one. And 10, we haven't ran into a 10. I doubt we will for a $20 radio. It's going to have to do something awful special. But here's this one. It really doesn't have the negatives of it. Outside of the clock function that I don't think works. There again, I don't know. Maybe it's got to be on to, maybe it's got to be in a certain frequency to work. Maybe you got to hold it down. Something lights up when I hit that button, like an alarm button or something. Huh. Anyway, I'm going to quit playing with that. Outside of the time functions, it seem to be a little strange. And then again, I really can't, I just can't judge it on that as a weakness, just because I can't read Chinese and maybe I'm not doing the right thing. So anyway, I would give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. I kind of want to say an 8, but I just don't think it's an 8 material. If it had an external jack for an antenna, it'd probably be getting pretty good. And but the features it gives, I mean, with the pouch and the antenna, they're giving you stuff with it that makes it really, really worthwhile. And if you can now y'all can use this video and the little cheat sheet and all that. You can buy one of these and not be afraid of it. It's not hard to operate at all. This would be a dandy little under $20 radio to pick up and just throw in your shirt pocket and take off. Tecsun does it again with these. And so yeah, 7.5 out of 10. It's not bad. It's been a review of the Tecsun DR-910. And if you like all this, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I think it's over here is a subscribe button. And we try to do new videos once, twice, 3 or 4 times a week. Just whatever strikes our fancy. It's all done for fun. And there's a link down in the description section that you can donate through PayPal. If you really like what's going on and you'd like to see more content and things, well, I'll use any donations are going to be used to buy more of these little radios. I sat down a couple of weeks ago and I created a log of a database of everything that all these little radios I have, the make and model and the cost. Just something easy to look at because it's getting too many and I'm starting to buy a duplicate here or there. And wow, I looked at the cost. I have 31 of these things, and even at $20, well, I'll let you do all the math. So there's a little bit of money involved with it, and I doubt anybody would ever buy these for $20 again. And so anyway, but donations, any amount is appreciated. I think the lowest you can donate is $1. All the way up to whatever your bank account holds, I guess. But anything would be appreciated. And like I said, I'll use that to buy more stuff and give us more content, more things to review. And with that, I'm going to hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I know it's a Sunday afternoon here. Must be a little after 3 o'clock. And we will see you at the next review.